Hi, welcome back to another episode of Connect and Persuade. My name is Val Gay.
My name is Steve Pappaterra.
And together we are principals at the firm Syncopate Advisors. And we do what there, Steve?
We help professionals transform how they present themselves, their organizations, and their ideas. And today, you came up with a phrase, as we make these things up as we go. You just mentioned a phrase, so we're just going to talk about it because I thought it was so interesting. What's the phrase?
Sure. It's the generation of imperfection.
Right.
And so I was having a conversation with my daughter, who we were actually writing a song together. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this. I'm not sure about this. And she was like, Mom, you don't have to be perfect. In fact, we're in a generation of imperfection where people want to just see what's real, and you don't have to be perfect. We've all been so strangled by perfectionism. It's like, you're absolutely right. And
well, we actually put this symbol up as a symbol, if you excuse the pun, because it's not perfect.
No.
It's kind of beat up, but it's authentic.
Yeah.
And it represents this point that we're trying to make and that we wrestle with.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, it's just so hard for me. People have to literally force me, like, okay, this is good enough.
Right, yeah, because it's really hard. Perfectionism can cripple, can be so crippling, right? And
it cripples creativity.
It absolutely cripples creativity.
Because it's just not perfect enough.
Right.
And we see this, for example, I do a lot of coaching of financial advisors, and video is really hot now in that area. And the problem that most of these people have, and that I have sometimes, is that if I'm on video, I don't look just right, I don't sound just right.
Oh, well, speaking of that, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And the truth of the matter is, most of the time, it's just fine.
Right.
They just have to get past this.
Yeah.
And you can see today how with this YouTube world that we live in, so many of the most effective videos, they're not highly produced, they're not perfect.
No.
But they're real. And
Right.
they're very effective.
And that's the point, right? So can you be real? Can you get your message across authentically? Do you have the content? And we're not saying just show up slovenly and just do whatever, but you don't have to be crippled by being perfect, because the reality is perfect doesn't exist.
Yeah, and we purposely don't script these videos out.
Right.
And we know that they're not always going to be just right, but we want them to have an idea. We want to have an idea of where we're going, but we don't want them to be staid and stale.
Right. Because first of all, we would never get them out, because it's not going to happen, because we are not perfect, right? But we do have a message, and we do want to create community. We want to connect with our audience, and we think that we have something that our audience needs, particularly now in this virtual world where just about everybody has to give some kind of presentation via video conferencing in some way. And so we all are presenting ourselves. We used to be able to get away with it, right? Only a few people would have the option of perform or presenting, for example. But now just about all of us, you can't escape it. You have the little square. Everybody's in the square. Look, I just hit the microphone, right? But it's
we're not going to edit that out.
No, we're not. But it's important for all of us now. And sometimes you just got to let go of perfection, do the best that you can, know your subject well, create your structure. Be ready to improvise and pivot. But sometimes you got to let some things go, because it can be good enough. And you learn.
Yeah, and I'm going to mention something that just came to me, because you all can't see this, but we are in a recording studio at the Soundplex, 10 minutes outside of Philadelphia, where Syncopate operates out of. And one of the things that I don't like about much of modern music is the recording techniques are such that people record their drum track, their bass part, the guitar parts. They have to be perfect. It takes 6 months to get a record out.
Right.
And some of the best music is when you just get people together, and it may not be perfect,
right,
but it's real.
But it's real. That's one of the things that a lot of us miss now, is the live real performances, right?
Exactly.
Because it's happening in the moment. Can't tell you the number of mistakes I make regularly, But in that moment, I can either be in the present, or I can live in the past with the mistake I just made, which then is going to impact my future. Because if I'm thinking about the mistake I just made, I'm guaranteed to make another mistake because I didn't prepare for my future, which is the next word I'm going to say or the next thing that we're going to do. And so this is really an opportunity to embrace your imperfections, do the best that you can, give yourself some grace, learn from your mistakes, and keep going.
And you know what?
What?
Here's what we ought to do.
What do we ought to do?
We're going to suggest to anyone listening to this, do something today or the next day. Record yourself, audio, video, or just go and do anything. And like you said, kind of accept the fact that it won't be perfect.
Right.
None of us are.
None of us are, but that's okay. That's the beauty of being human.
Okay. All right. We'll see you all later.
See you. Please remember to like and subscribe.
Oh, I forgot.
Hit the bell.
See what I mean about not being perfect? We forgot something already.
We forgot something already.
Like, subscribe, comment, tell us what you want to hear about.
Yes, what you want to hear about. We really do want to create a community where we are collectively connecting and persuading.